So welcome back to another video, guys. So yeah, today we're going to be working on the car again, and yeah, just working through the MOT. As you can see, it's been a bit of a long-winded process, and I just kind of want this done now. Getting a little bit fed up with it, but we're getting there. We are moving forward just slowly with some of the stuff. So yeah, so this was a big pain in the arse. This one was, as you can see, I've been attacking it like crazy. The ball joint, basically the lower ball joint that attaches to the end of the wishbone, I couldn't get it out, and this bolt here was seized as well. So I thought by cutting this off, I could release the tension off of this one and basically move the wishbone out of the way, pull this one out and get it all out of the way. But that wasn't the case, so this had to be slowly drilled out and then pushed out from the other side. So luckily we managed to get that one out. Now all the bolts and all the things, as you can see, because I've had nothing but bother with nearly every single one, even the caliper holes as well, to get the calipers off. The anti-roll bar link adjustment here, they've all been an absolute pig to get off. So I've just copper greased them all up. Got plenty left here, and I'll be doing the same with the other side. As you can see, I've had to take the whole drive shaft off, take it off from the gearbox end and drain the gearbox fluid. I couldn't also get the main hub nut off, and that was an absolute pain. I tried heat, I tried penetrating fluids, I tried heat again, and then I tried my impact gun on it constantly, and I just could not get it off for the life of me. I do believe I still have it here. So this is the nut here. Basically, I'm not sure what these are called. It's I'm sure one of you guys probably know. It's like a castle nut, similar, but this part spins on the bearing, I'd imagine. So this outer ring here just rotates. So I need another one of these, and I can only find one in a wheel bearing kit. So I'll be doing both front wheel bearings as well, so that's racked the price up a bit. And again, price is getting a little bit difficult for parts. I've already been buying bits and pieces. As you can see, I've got some other bits over there and most of the other parts to get in the car. So I've got a whole box of parts there. I've got the rebuild caliper kit down there, and then the brake lines came the other day, so I've got them Hell brake lines, and then the rest of the suspension parts are in that box. And then today I managed to get a hold of a dog bone engine mount. So if anyone that doesn't know what this is the lower bottom engine mount that basically connects the bottom of the engine basically to the chassis of the car. So it sort of sits like that, if you like, and then there's just an arm that sort of comes around and sort of links them together, and then obviously bolts to a bracket that's attached to the car. So we've got a solid bush of one of them, a nice Powerflex one, so I can get the old one off. Just worth doing while I've got the car apart. So that's one thing that's been purchased. And then the other thing is this one. As you can imagine, if you have a guess what that one is, this is for wishbones. So we've got all the lower wishbone bushes basically that connect it to the subframe of the car. So that'll do the whole front end again. Got a really good price on these, but they have taken 2 weeks to get here, 2.5 weeks to get here. So that's why I've only just got them today, and yeah, been waiting on those a little bit. We've got a brake line hose clamp, so we can get the calipers off, so we can build them up on the bench rather than on the floor. So we can do one at a time. Only needed one. These are actually really dear for what they are. I couldn't believe actually these are like £8 or so, which to me feels a bit weird. Why does that cost so much? That should literally cost about £1. It's plastic, but yeah, you know, it stops you damaging brake lines, even though I've got new ones anyway. But you know, you never know, I might need the original ones back at some point. seeing as parts of this car are pretty hard to get. So yeah, got that one. Yeah, so we're working on this today. Hopefully I can get this back in. What else is there? I've got to get... Oh, actually, no, we won't be working on this. We'll be working on the wishbone arm. So if I can get that off today, get the old ones hopefully pressed out or burnt out or whatever I need to do, because they don't go in obviously the same way as the Powerflex ones, because they're in two halves, so you can easily just slot them in. Whereas the other ones, I'm assuming, are just pressed in and are going to be an absolute pig to get out. So we'll get those ones in and we'll get those ones out. And yeah, kind of go from there, guys. So yeah, I've got my work cut out for me. I managed to get the brake bleeding kit from my stepdad. So we've managed to get this. So once we're done, but that's not going to be needed for a while. I might, with the handbrake cables, get these fitted at the garage when I get the MOT done, so they can finally chew them. It's just a bit difficult to do it under the car by yourself. It's much easier to do it on a ramp, and obviously I haven't got that much space under the car to mess about with, so just to save time and it'd be quicker. And yeah, I've never done one before, so, and there's a throttle cable in there as well, so I might just leave that to a garage when the car's rolling, and I can get it in a garage when it's MOT'd and things like that, basically. So yeah, we still have quite a bit to order. Again, money's running a little bit low at the minute for this time, but we'll get there. We'll get there, and we can hopefully get this sorted. I just wanted this done a lot quicker than it actually was, but it's projects for you, isn't it? Nothing ever seems to go, you know, smoothly with these things. But hey ho, you know, I've had about 5-6 sheared bolts on this arm alone, and I'm hoping that side doesn't give me the same bother, because I haven't even tackled this side yet. I've got the rears all taken off, as you've seen in a previous video, so they're kind of ready to go. They've got new bearings, brake discs, pads, the lot. They just need the new brake lines, which are sort of in the middle of the axle. So that's not too much bother. I ain't got to mess about too much with them. And then I think that is it for the rear end. So that's nice and easy, or should be. Fingers crossed, I've just jinxed it. And then yeah, and then we've got the front ends, like I say. So that's what it sort of looks like at the minute. You probably won't be able to see it too well. And so like I say, I've just got to take the wishbones off. Oh, and the anti-roll bars off as well. So yeah, we'll get cracking on, get round to that side. We can put the hopefully get the wishbones off. I've already tried getting it off with the impact gun, which is over there, and it's kind of come off, but it is getting a little bit stuck. So I'm hoping that doesn't give me too much bother as well, because like I say, I'm just getting sick of coming across just crappy bolts on this car that just seem to be seized all the time. So yeah, let's get on with it. Okay guys, so yeah, it's been, I don't know, about half an hour or so, and I've had 2 bolts to basically take out. They were a little bit stubborn, but luckily that this time they didn't shear off like the rest of them. So yeah, so that's what we're working with. That's where we had a bit of trouble with the lower ball joint. So those 2 bolts are out, and I had to just sort of clean it up, grind it off, because they were seized on there as well. So yeah, we got those 2 bolts out that went through those 2 bushes, and like I said, we got the new Powerflex bushes to go back in. Unfortunately, we don't have new replacement bolts. I don't really want to use the ones that came out because they look a bit crap. So I can show you that around here. So this is what I'm working with. It's sorry I can't really film while I'm actually doing it, because it's like you can see here, this is what I'm working with. I'm literally back against that and working against the car here. 2 hands are always needed, so I can't really mount the camera anywhere to kind of really show you really without damaging it. But this is what I'm working with. You can see nearly all of the suspension's missing. Got the coilover just dangling from the top bolts, and then we've got the caliper just hanging there. We still need to take this tie rod off. We've got the anti-roll bar all taken care of here, and then yeah, the wishbone mounts were just there basically. So there's that one and that one there. I think my light's messing up the shot there. So yeah, just those two there. So that one there and that one over there. And it just had these big old bolts going through it that look like that. This one isn't too bad, which came off on the right hand side, that side. But if you take a look at this one, again the head's not great where I've been trying to get it off. But we have that, which I don't know if you can see, you definitely do not want to be putting back onto the car. So yeah, we've got a whole thread there that's really badly damaged, so we won't be putting that back on. But like I say, hopefully I can find a replacement one of these. I can't imagine it being too difficult, even if I have to go to a main dealer to try and find that kind of bolt. But I might even have one. But yeah, so we've got them off. That's a bit of a pig to get off, but it's off. We'll clean it all up, we'll get it all copper greased and get those areas painted where the bare metal is, and we'll chuck the new bushes in and we're ready to go. So yeah, we'll get all this rust cleaned up. The underside was all painted and it has been undersealed, but obviously where the components like the wishbones and stuff were in the way, I couldn't get to them, so we will be touching it up. And I noticed a little bit of the front subframe there is quite rusty, so I'll clean that up, and it'll be looking as good as it can be, really, with a bit of paint. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I think all we need to do now this side is, like I say, get that tie rod off. That's just dangling there. We've well, I've sprayed it with some primer, yellow primer, just so I've got a rough guide to where I can screw the new one on. So that's really helpful. So obviously you don't want your alignment to go completely out of whack when you drive it off, so it's completely dangerous. But I will be getting the car realigned anyway, but that's just to, you know, get it as close as it can possibly be, basically, so by eye, and then it'll be done properly afterwards. So yeah, we'll get this caliper off at some point. We'll get that hose clamp just on there, and we'll stop the brake fluid going everywhere. We can get this one off. We'll rebuild this one first, put this one back on, put the new line on. The plan is to do one corner at a time and not try and take off too much stuff, because like I say, my garage is pretty full, and yeah, I'm working in this at the minute, so it's quite difficult to sort of keep track of things. I've got the little pot there to try and keep it all together. We've got the support bar as well that come off the wishbone, and that just tied up here into the actual frame of the car with a captive nut. So that's been done. That's the end of the bolts there that I had to heat up. So yeah, if you're ever doing this, guys, two things that you really need, or three things: impact, penetrating fluid, and definitely a blowtorch. This has got so many bolts off and really does help. So yeah, even if you haven't got an impact gun, breaker bar. So I've got a breaker bar just down here as well, and that really helps. Right guys, so yeah, we're going to try and burn these bushes out. There's not many other ways I can do it apart from buying another bearing press, which I haven't got access to and don't want to pay for just for a couple of bushes. So we're going to burn them out, put new ones in, clean it up, and should be all good. must advise you guys, when you're doing this, it will stink. That's one, nice and easy. Just got to get the rest of the rubber out of here. That's one. So yeah, we got our wishbones all sorted out. I think that's okay to touch. And yeah, so we just need to clean up these parts. I'm not sure actually whether I need to smash out these outer rings as well, because we have got other ones. I imagine, because they went inside, I'd imagine that goes where that one sits, and then this sits on there as it goes through. Alright, bear with me guys while I sort this out. I don't know if we can give this a bit of a tap, see if it moves. I think it is. Right guys, so it's been a little while since I did an update, but here we are. It has been an absolute nightmare. I've basically had to get, so that's sort of before, obviously with the bush was in here, and I've had to, you obviously saw that where I was burning that out. Now, I know that the new one came with these new metal rings basically that go inside of here. Now I was trying to figure out which part of this you take out. Is it this piece on the back, or is it the bit on the front? Now the only bit that I could see that was attached was this bit with the flange, so I cut the flange off and tried to see if the bush would fit inside the standard one, because I know some people weld these ones in. So that didn't work, so what I did was I had to use a lot of force with my my little baby clamp here, and basically, yeah, just hold it in place, smash it out with a hammer. And now I've just pressed the new one in, which doesn't seem to be going anywhere. And then I just need to press the new bush into there, so that'll go like that. So I've just got another one to do, which hopefully will be a little bit easier now I know how to do it. But yeah, just a little update there for you guys. So we're slowly getting there, and we're making progress. We've managed to get both bushes in now, press those in, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm not too sure, these have gone in pretty tight, and should be okay, but a lot of people do tend to tack weld these on, so I could take these to work and get them tack welded. We shall see, but they feel pretty tight, so you know, I've had to actually smash these in with a hammer, so I can't imagine they're going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, that's probably it for tonight, guys. Like I say, it's been an eventful evening, but we've got some progress, and quite happy with getting that done. Like I say, I've never done these with this car before anyway, so it's all good to learn. And then as soon as we go to do the other side, I know exactly what to expect, and we can go from there basically. So I was going to rebuild the one of the calipers, so we'll do one side at a time. We've got the hell braided brake line all fitted, and with the copper washer underneath that. The only thing I'm a bit dubious about, whether this bleed nipple gives me any trouble. We haven't tried it yet. These tend to snap if you obviously need to adjust them when you go to bleed the brakes. Got the rest of the lines there, and yeah, so we got a new piston, new seal, new circlip, and a new square seal inside. And yeah, just how basically the way I managed to get the old one out, the old piston, because obviously they're quite compressed and tight in there. If you get yourself, if you haven't got a compressor like I have, get yourself like a dual foot pump, and then what you need is the little pointy end like that, and then just stick some sort of foamy sort of tape around it like that, and then you just shove that in the brake line where it is there, where the hell line is. So you shove it in there, and you basically just try and keep the seal as good as you can. It does leak a little bit, but you just have to keep trying it. Obviously with an air compressor you'll probably have that out in seconds, but it just took me about 5 minutes. And so yeah, and then you'll watch the piston just slowly pull out of here. Obviously don't put your fingers here, because this piston comes out quickly. So yeah, it's quite ferocious really, coming out of here, and it just thumps the end of this. So yeah, do not put your fingers in here while you're putting compressed air in there. So yeah, that's a little tip for you, not to crush your fingers. So yeah, one rebuild kit, one caliper done. I'll probably just give this a lick of paint before I put it back in, and yeah, so that's all ready to go. We have got, I'll get the light here for you. Like I say, I have done some more work on the car as well, and we managed to get quite a lot done down here. I managed to get some bolts as well from my local hardware store for the wishbones, because it didn't come with the Powerflex ones. So I've got some of those on. I've just cut the old brake lines and put a clamp on it for now, so that's out of the way. I've just got to take this end off, and then the other end of that hell braid line will go to this part. We've got a new tie rod end put on, so that's all good. The other one was really stubborn, and as you can see I had to fight with it a little bit. So yeah, that's actually an angle grinder mark, and yeah, managed to cut right down to the threads, which was always good. So yeah, that gave me a bit of bother like the rest of it. We painted the wishbone arm, painted the rest of the subframe while the wishbone was off. Wishbone arm here was off, so we managed to get all that painted. We've got the Powerflex bushes in there, and we've got the bolts all tightened up with new nylocks on, new bolts, new washers. Everything's going brand new basically. So we've had to take all this support arm off and put that on. We've got, like I say, the new tie rod, and then I'll be putting the rest of it together once I get those bits, which I have, I believe, in the car actually. So yeah, we've got those, and then we just got to put the caliper back on. Yeah, we've got the hub done as well, so that was all done. That gave me a bit of time to give this a lick of paint. So it's just like a glittery silver really. It's called cast iron effect. So I've given that a paint, and it's looking a lot nicer, and like I say, copper greased all the holes, so that's looking good. I do need to get a wheel bearing kit, so I might take these somewhere to get them pressed out, because I don't have a press. So yeah, we need to do that at some point, but I need to buy a wheel bearing kit for each side, so that can wait there for now. Yeah, so thank you for watching guys, and if you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video guys. Cheers.